Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Week 6 of Tailgate Talk. We are here to talk about Class A, and Week 6 means we're down to the last 3 weeks of the regular season in Eastern Class A, the Pine Tree Conference. Hard to imagine. With Randy Whitehouse, I'm Callie Oaks. Let's talk about the game that probably means the most to that playoff hunt, as Lewiston, with a 2-game winning streak, goes to Lawrence. Lewiston at 3-2. They've got a tough road trip these next couple of weeks. One at Lawrence, and then again at Bangor. Probably have to win one of those games to make the 14 playoffs.
Yeah, they have to win at least one. You could maybe make the case that they need the Bangor one, maybe more than the Lawrence one. But either way, they count pretty well in the Crabtrees. And, Lewiston, for their sake, just to keep the momentum going this week, it would be a huge boost to them to be able to beat Lawrence. Coming off a game last week against Oxford Hills, it was a little bit tougher than anticipated. Oxford Hills hung around with them the first half, and then Lewiston, their defense especially, dominated in the second half. Defense needs to continue that effort here in the Lawrence game. I mean, Sean Carroll is the biggest challenge they're going to face all year, and they face some pretty good running backs so far this year. But, it's going to start with the defense. They're starting to get some more balance on offense. The offensive line has done a terrific job of protecting Chris Madden the last few weeks, so the passing game has been more productive. Of course, with their running game with Jeff Turcotte, I mean, that's among the top running games in the league. But, it's always tough to go up there to Keyes Field, always tough to get out of there alive.
It's one of your favorite places, isn't it?
That's right. So, obviously, it's a humongous game for Lawrence. It's a big game for Lawrence, too. I mean, they've had, a couple of easier teams to face the last couple of weeks. Cowhegan last week, Mount Ararat the week before. They want to start priming up for the playoffs. So I bet they'll be pretty charged up for this one.
Lewiston has kind of had these road trips and these tough games scattered out during the season. Edward Little didn't have that luxury. They played the heavy hitters of the Pine Tree Conference right off the bat for the second year in a row, and consequently got off to a slow start for the second year in a row. But now at 1-4, you can see a chance for maybe the Eddies to get something rolling. It starts with homecoming this week against Mount Ararat, a team that's got one of the 2 or 3 longest losing streaks in all classes in the state. The Eagles just trying to build something for the future. And it looks like the Eddies are headed in the right direction. Even though a tough loss up to Messalonskee, they played well for a half. They got Darnell Hairston. He's become kind of the go-to back. And what else is going on with the Eddies lately?
Well, it's not a good sign when your offense starts giving up as many big plays as your defense does. And that's what happened last week. I mean, Edward Little ran into Sam Dexter touchdown factory last week. And so, that's a tough loss for them, obviously. Like you said, very winnable game this week against Mount Ararat. And with Hairston running the ball, they should be able to do that fairly easily, get some momentum going, get some positive things going, and take advantage of a little bit easier schedule in the second half here.
And speaking of homecoming, Edward Little chose Mount Ararat for homecoming. I guess I can understand that one. Oxford Hills chose Bangor. And they didn't have a lot to choose from. They played Lawrence 2 weeks ago, so that wouldn't have been a good one either. But Saturday night game, I believe, on the schedule for the Vikings. And as you said earlier, they played well against Lewiston. They're making progress. What are their prospects against Bangor at home?
Well, they're looking, first of all, for a break that doesn't involve a skeleton. I mean, they just haven't had very many breaks other than broken bones to various players. I was impressed last week, with Brown in a quarterback. He brought a different dimension to them. He can run the ball. They run quarterback draws with him. They'll run all sorts of different sets with him at quarterback. And he can throw the ball, too. He throws the ball on the run pretty well. And, defensively, Bill County was very complimentary of their defense after last week's game. And that piece has been the strength throughout the season for the Vikings. So, if they can contain Bangor's running game, then they can possibly stay in the game like they did last week with Lewiston. Maybe if they get the breaks start to go their way, they can give them a big scare and maybe pull off an upset for homecoming. Who knows? But things are starting to go in the right direction. It's still 1 step forward, 1.5 steps back for the Vikings. But they're starting to make some progress. Paul Withy, talking to him last week, he's pleased with how far they've come so far this year. They're just looking for a little bit of luck to go on their side.
After all those consecutive 1-win seasons they've had, it's nice to see them kind of getting stronger as the season goes along, despite the injuries. So some good news out of South Paris, Norway area for the Vikings. That's it for Eastern A. That's the wrap-up for Week 6. Stay tuned all weekend long for all the coverage in the print edition and here at sunjournal.com and SJ Varsity. For Randy Whitehouse, I'm Callie Oaks. See you on the sidelines.